Hey, everybody, and welcome to the Pleasure Priority Podcast with me, Amber Taylor. This is the podcast all about how you can have the audacity to put yourself and your pleasure first, which ultimately shapes a life perfect for you. We discuss friends and family, career and money, oppression, healing, and mental health, current events, and historical ones too. Basically, all things life and pleasure and how you can create more of it authentically. I'm your host, Amber Taylor, and it's my pleasure to talk to you every week. Let's tune in. Hello, my friends, and welcome back to the podcast. So, since today is a holiday, I got a very special episode to record for y'all today. And if you're like, what holiday is it? It's 420, babes. So I decided to interrupt my regularly scheduled podcast ideas and what I had coming for you this week to do a special 420 episode. So, what makes it a special 420 episode? Well, I'm just going to smoke and talk about what's on my mind today. So, we'll see what happens. I think it's going to be good. I think it's going to be good. But without further ado, let's get it going. All right, let's do this. All right, well, not only is it 420, but it is also a solar eclipse, and it is also the beginning of Taurus season, but it's also this super rare thing where we had this double Aries new moon in 1 month before the moon changed phase to Taurus. It was like in Aries again. And that part means that, look at me trying to be an astrologer. That part means that we get a reset, a redo, those promises that we made to ourselves, those intentions that we set earlier in this season, like right around when it just started getting hot, we just started feeling good. And we were thinking about what we wanted to do and maybe had these big lofty goals before we were completely prepared to stick to them. This is that recommitment to those original goals. This is like, all right, round two. We could wipe that last round, except we learned from it, but it's an even slate, a clean slate now. And it's time to get to work. And I think what's so cool about this astrology is that it's all about pleasure. Like Taurus season is about the pleasure, but not just pleasure. It's about the things that ground you or being grounded, things that you don't really want to change or waver on. It's like a little stubborn, and how that's not always a bad thing to be a little stubborn. But it's not just about like pleasures, but our true desires and what we want and our goals and how we need to be loyal and committed to the pursuit of. And then I could sit here and wonder like how people can be like, they don't want to put their pleasure first. Like they don't turn towards it. They don't want to indulge into it. They think it's too much. They think it's dangerous. Like, how did something so powerful and so beautiful get this bad and scary rap? And it's because of the narrative that's been spun around it. It's because there's so much power in it that, in a function of oppression, especially for women, especially for people of color, to deny them pleasure is to deny them power. And I said this before, or I quoted this before, but Esther Perel said that eroticism is the antidote to death. she speaks about eroticism the way I speak about pleasure. But it is the thing that helps you keep going. It's necessary. It's not a luxury. It's actually like necessary to your health, to your well-being completely overall, mental, physical, everything. Your pleasure is necessary. And if we don't have it, we're not in our full selves. We're not in our full authenticity. We don't know really what we want because we're not allowed to enjoy the things that we have. And maybe not allowed or not allowing ourselves, but not having a relationship with pleasure makes you even more afraid to experience pain, which is an inevitable part of life. But because of that avoidance, you try your best to avoid it, and you do what people tell you to do to avoid things, aka you get very controllable. If you act like this, if you do these things, if you wear your hair this way, if you speak this way, if you dress this way, if you look this way, then these things will happen, and these things, then you can expect good things to happen. And if you don't, then you're bad, everything's bad, and then you'll feel bad. And taking away people's autonomy of their pleasure makes them controllable. It makes people oppressed. And that's why my work is so important, because it's freedom. It's literal freedom. When people aren't controlling what you want and what you want to do, what you want to enjoy, how you want to spend your time, how you want to make money, who you want to spend your time with, what that looks like, what you dress like, what everything about you, when it's in your control, you move different, you think different, you act different, you attract different. It changes everything, especially your ability to be manipulated and controlled. And that's why it's got the rap of being so dangerous, because I don't want people to have access to it. So when people tell me that they can't take a vacation because they need to do more work, they need to earn it in some way, they can't do what they want to do because they can only do what they have to do. There's no room for what they want because whatever the fuck, I don't know. But people really are scared to experience joy. We even have words like hedonist. I think that's the right word. But like, damn, why? What? And maybe I could look this up. I don't really know the story, but what has gone wrong when somebody has been in their true pleasure? And this isn't saying ignoring all your other senses or rationale, like you're still a whole and complete person, and we're not narcissists here. We're recovering people pleasers. But like, what's the issue? What has actually gone wrong when you have taken time to do what you want to do, to put your pleasure first, to put your authenticity first, to put your needs first? And okay, and if somebody's like, oh, what's gone wrong? Is somebody's upset? Okay, okay. Why is that something going wrong? People are going to be upset all the time at everything. Nobody's going to be happy at everything. But why would you rather make somebody else happy over yourself? Because honestly, you can't make somebody else happy. You can't make somebody else feel anything. You can do things that you think would elicit the feeling of happiness in them, but they may not. You can't control that, but you can control your own. So why don't we just all stay in our lane and just make us happy instead of trying to make everybody else happy? And then we could just be happy together instead of happy dependent and try to be controlling somebody else because we lost our own. You feel me? Tell me why I just got scared to death that I was not recording this entire time. But it's okay. I hit the button. We're good. But anyway, I'm just going to make this come full circle and wrap it up. Like, you don't have to view pleasure as some dangerous thing that makes you go out of control. especially if you're somebody listening to this podcast, if you're somebody that has previously denied themselves pleasure for the sake of being a good person or doing what somebody else wanted or doing what was expected of them or just genuinely being a people pleaser, then this stuff, it can feel dangerous, it can feel scary, and it only feels that way because it's new, because it's different, and because at some point in time you likely had a negative experience trying it, but it is not then, and you are not the same person, you are not the same version of yourself that didn't know how to handle that situation and didn't know what it meant. It was more of a reflection of that person than it was of you. You're allowed to want what you want. You're allowed to enjoy it. You're allowed to enjoy life. You're allowed to experience joy in everything. You're allowed to put your needs first. You're allowed to love you most. You're allowed to be who you are wherever you show up. You're not only allowed, but you deserve. You deserve it all. So taking this day, taking this season, and remembering that we can ground ourselves in our truest pleasures, in our truest desires. We can commit to ourselves. We can commit to our own wants, our own joys, our own needs, and we can live in balance with our own integrity and everything that life brings. But I think I'm going to cut it there. All right, y'all. I hope you have an amazing day. Happy 420, happy April, happy Taurus season, and I'll see you next week. Hey, friends. Thanks so much for listening to this episode of the Pleasure Priority Podcast. I hope you enjoyed it. If it's your pleasure, check me out on Instagram at Amber Taylor Coaching and my website, www.ambertaylorcoaching.com. for more on increasing your pleasure across all aspects of life. As always, make sure to follow the show and check back each week for a new episode. I'd also love it if you'd leave an honest rating and review, and if you'd share the show with anyone else you think would benefit. Much love. Talk soon, friends.